Hi everyone, welcome to Well Actually, your Geek Girl Guide to the Galaxy. I'm your host, Princess Weeks.
And I'm her sidekick, Rachel Leishman.
And today we are doing another week of bitching and fussing over what annoyed us this week. And Rachel, you had to deal with especially a lot of bullshit this week.
Yeah, Louis C.K. is the worst still, and he did a comedy festival called Skankfest. It was at this place called Brooklyn Bazaar, but it is sponsored by The Creek and the Cave. So everyone got mad because I said we should be mad at The Creek and the Cave. Well, actually, we should be mad at The Creek and the Cave because they're the ones who sponsored it. Brooklyn Bazaar is a venue that was rented for Louis C.K. to stand up and perform at.
It's bizarre that he still has a platform. Mm-hmm. And for me, what was really grinding my gears is that there's a lot of talk about respectability and electability with our female politicians. And it's like, well, actually, we should be judging the female candidates by what they have to say. And in that regard, some of them aren't great. But let's focus on the actual policies and not if they are electable, if they are nice in terms of personality. Like, it's about the whole package, not their gender.
Yeah. Also, there was a 7-year-old who was in Avengers Endgame. She played Morgan Stark, who's Tony Stark's daughter, and she had to go on Instagram and post a video being like, please stop bullying me and my family. And everyone is saying, well, then she shouldn't be on Instagram. Well, actually, she's 7. That's it. Like, stop bullying a 7-year-old.
And finally, in a brilliant turn of events, as you guys know, earlier in the year, Netflix canceled One Day at a Time because they said they didn't have an audience for it. Well, actually they do, and Pop TV has just resurrected the show, and I'm so excited because I love that show so much. Representation matters, and Netflix, you done goofed. What are we kind of feeling excited about this week? I know for you, Stranger Things has just come out.
It's a fun 80s show with a bunch of kids running around fighting demogorgons. It's great. I love Stranger Things. I think, I don't know. I always forget it's a show until it's coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, Stranger Things is coming out. I get really excited.
And for me, what I'm really happy about, like everyone knows I love Space Jam, greatest movie of the 90s. And Space Jam 2 is coming out with LeBron James as the star. And apparently they are going to be recruiting WNBA players to be in the movie. And I'm so happy about that because already female athletes do not get their due when it comes to like getting sponsorships, when it comes to getting paid, getting proper, like, you know, field. Like, a lot of women still play on turf and not on actual grass, which is BS. So I'm so happy that, like, one of the best sports movies of all time is getting a sequel, and it's going to be including a lot more women in it because that's really awesome. So thank you, King James. And now it's time for a royal education. The Charlie's Angel trailer came out, and it's really... Charlie's Angel is a very weird franchise. Like, the original was pseudo-empowering for its time, not super great. It's been critiqued a lot. And then it was, you know, made into a series of films. It had a failed reboot television series, I believe, like 2 years ago. On the one hand, I'm excited about, like, you know, women in this movie, but it's also just, like, a very generic property to, like, reboot.
I'm tired of reboots and telling the same story over and over again, and I think what made Captain Marvel a great movie was that Captain Marvel was just like Iron Man. It was just like any other superhero movie. It was great. And everyone is like, no, she's feminist warrior. I'm like, no, she's just a woman who's a superhero. Like, I was like, stop pushing girl power stories. If you just write women in movies and write them as great characters, I don't need the girl power element of it.
I don't see, the thing is with me, I don't mind girl power as like a concept that we work with, but like, can you really empower people through like generic marketing of like very light-skinned women of color? Because Naomi Scott and the other girl, they're both women of color, but they're both mixed race, like light-skinned women. The problem is that when we talk about the commercialization of like anything, especially feminism, it's like, at what point is this about putting women forward, or is it about you making money because you think that getting a female audience as a main character will be interesting? So I think that's kind of like what we have to kind of figure out as all these movies come out. Because you can see there's a lot more pivoting to having this kind of diversity, but like if it works is a whole nother issue. But until then, we gotta pour one out.
I'm pouring one out this week to all of the young girls who tried to go and see Tom Holland and the cast of Spider-Man Far From Home the last week because autograph hounds decided that they were more important than fans. This is for you guys. I'm sorry that autograph hounds are the worst.
And my pour one out today is for Billie Eilish because she wore a tank top and had the audacity to have boobs, and so the entire internet had to be like, oh my God, she has boobs. It's like, one, grow up. Like, seriously, like, leave her alone. She's 17 years old. So, Billie, I'm sorry. They're the bad guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you all so much for tuning in with us today, and be sure to check out the Mary Sue for any more of our coverage on these topics and on multiple of other things, and we will see you again real soon. Bye.